the Matrix will light our darkest hour.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be checking out the Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Primer Prime, the Warrior of Light and the leader of a group of ancient mythological beings known as the Original 13. So, as we whack up an image of how he appeared in the Covenant of Primus, that really does appear to be the design that for the most part, this figure pulls a lot of inspiration from, with the exception of the head sculpt, which instead bears a super strong resemblance to what is widely considered to be his look from the original G1 cartoon, which originally I wasn't too sure would work with the rest of his robot mode, seeing as the armor plating is incredibly detailed, but I've got to say that in person the design looks awesome. And as we flip around to the back of Primer, he is stacked. Despite fictionally never having the ability to transform, I really like how the tires from his vehicle mode actually can double as additional gap fillers, allowing them to integrate near seamlessly into the design, resulting in a robot mode that just from an action figure standpoint is incredibly striking and enjoyable to mess with. In terms of accessories, in addition to all that was mentioned previously, Primer is also the first bearer of the Matrix of Leadership and the wielder of the legendary Star Saber, which are the two accessories that this guy does include. The Star Saber is a brilliant piece of design and fictionally incredibly powerful. A great carryover from the Power of the Primes toy line would be his tiny, unique insignia which is printed onto the hilt, a running theme that we appear to be seeing throughout all of the Primes released so far. The Matrix of Leadership is the same sculpt that we've now been seeing since Transformers Earthrise, although this time, in addition to being stored inside his incredibly detailed Matrix chamber, can also be embedded within the hilt, giving him the ability to slice through anyone or anything. Turning to posability to see whether or not this Prime has the touch, I've got to say, guys, that we may just be looking at the most articulated Prime released to date. So, the head is ball jointed, allowing him to look up, down, and side to side. The arms can rotate freely, with the shoulder pads being fully articulated, allowing for a pretty decent kick out to the side. The bicep can also rotate, the elbows can bend a little past 90, the wrists are ball jointed, and the fingers can open and close, giving this guy the ability to grasp the Matrix of Leadership. Despite his backpack, the waist can still be spun side to side, the hips can kick both forwards and backwards, although can't quite pull off the complete splits. He is, however, packing a pretty deadly high kick. The thigh can rotate, the knee can bend a little past 90, the ankles can kick upwards and can also rock inwards. But to really see the true power of this Prime, let's now put him through the pose test. Firing through some robot mode size comparisons, first up is the Age of the Primes leader class, Megatronus the Fallen, the most powerful Prime. The Studio Series 86 Commander class Optimus Prime, Legacy United Voyager class Vector Prime, the Prime of Time. Studio Series 86 Ironhide, Deluxe class Solus Prime, Wielder of the Forge. Then finally, 86 movie Bumblebee.
Autobots, transform!
So, for the first step, take the bicep and spin this around. You'll now take the back part of the arm, open this up and slide it all the way to the back. You'll then take the fist, slide this here upwards, and again, guys, be sure to do the same for the second side. So, spin inwards at the bicep, take the arm, pop this here open, slide this here to the back, then take the fist and slide this here upwards. Once completed, we can now take the chest plate and the shoulders and push these in opposite directions to each other. With that completed, we can now spin here to the side, where you'll firstly take the shoulders, hinge these here up, so that we can now take the backpack and slide this here down. That will then create for enough clearance for us to then take the torso and spin this around until eventually the front now faces the back. With that completed, we can now take the first set of tires. These are going to slide outwards and will eventually snap into place exactly like this. Then what you'll do is take the back part of the head, slide this here down until this does click into place. We'll now take the chest plate and pop this here forwards, so that from the side it should be looking like this. What you'll then do is take the shoulders and make use out of these double hinge joints. Hinge these here upwards, and again do the same here for the second side, until you reach a point where the forearms can now connect into the back part of the roof. We can now take the front bumper, flip this all the way around to the front, as this will now attach into those tabs. You'll then take the shoulder pads, click these here inwards, and again do the same for the second side. Now what you'll do is make specific notes out of these tiny tabs, as these are now going to slide underneath the biceps. So snap that section into place, and again do the same for the second side. Once completed, that right there guys is the entire upper half now fully transformed. What you'll then do is spin around to the back of the legs, where we can firstly take the feet, slide these forwards, then take the tyres and pop these here out to the sides. What you'll then do is slide the foot backwards until this does snap into place. And again guys, be sure to do the same for the second side. So slide forwards at the foot, take the tyres, pop these here outwards, then take the foot, slide this here backwards, and now what you'll do is combine both halves directly down the middle, which will then give us the ability to firstly slide backwards at the hips, and then to take the knees and slide these all the way to the front. What you'll then do is slide the feet underneath the roof of the truck, and those tiny tabs are now going to slide into his forearms, locking everything into place. For one final finishing touch, you'll then flip here to the underside, where we can now take the tyres, line that tab up with that slot, so snap that into place, and again guys, be sure to do the same for the second side. That right there guys is the transformation now completely complete. Cruising through the battlefield of Cybertron, here is Primer Prime now fully transformed into his truck mode, which, despite being a fully conceptualized design, appears to almost take some inspiration from both a Lunar Cruiser and a Cybertruck, resulting in something which looks to be incredibly heavy duty. The Cybertronian wheels are also incredibly solid, with the front set being fully pinned into place, giving this guy the ability to quite simply glide through the battlefield. Or these can be flipped upwards, creating a third hovercraft mode, which is something that I honestly can't say that I'm too crazy about, but I do love the weapon integration. The blade of the Starsaber can be separated from the hilt and attached up top, or the entire blade can be plugged into the front bumper and act as a full-blown battering ram for Primer to deploy when in battle. Racing through some vehicle mode size comparisons. First up is Megatronus, the Fallen, the Studio Series 86, Optimus Prime, Optimus Prime's right-hand man, Voyager class Ironhide, Deluxe class Solus Prime, then finally again, 86 movie, Bumblebee. So, wrapping up on this review for the Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Primer Prime. Overall, this is yet another incredibly strong entry into the original 13. His robot mode is solid, with honestly very little to complain about. His accessories are also incredibly detailed, and I do think in the case of the Starsaber that it may just be the best looking artifact to be released so far. The transformation also isn't too difficult and results in a very cool looking Cybertronian truck, which, despite never making an appearance until now, is also a very enjoyable mode. So definitely this guy does get a recommendation from myself, especially if you do plan to pick up the rest of the primes, as he is the leader. I would love to know what you guys think of Primer Prime down in the comment section below. As always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until my next video, I'll see you then. Transform and roll out!